Globo Tech Industries is a multinational conglomerate that makes military hardware of high quality. They recently purchased a toy company, Heartland Play Systems, whose goal is to incorporate battlefield technology into their games. In the first scene, the head toy designers at Heartland, Irwin and Larry, meet with Global Tech's board of directors. The CFO, Gil Mars, wants to know what they think about their most recent endeavors, which involve the creation of intelligent, interactive toys. Irwin is nervous when he offers the Gorgonites, a peaceful race led by a character named Archer whose goal is to learn more about Earth. Larry, on the other hand, quickly introduces Chip Hazard's Special Action Figure Task Force, the Commando Elite. Despite Irwin's objections, Mars gives the Commando Elite the monstrous Gorgonites as their foes and gives them 3 months to finish their project. They have no choice but to move forward, despite Irwin's belief that it is impossible due to the lengthy testing and design time required. A woman hands the designers their security cards and individual passwords for the company's online account after the meeting. She tells them to keep their password secret, but Irwin still reads it out loud. Larry tries to access the company's account later that night, but he can't remember his password. Consequently, in order to search for internal components, he enters Irwin's password. After that, oblivious to the repercussions, he orders thousands of military-grade microprocessor chips. The new toy line will eventually be finished and shipped out. The schoolboy Alan Abernathy and his family, who own an out-of-favor traditional toy store, are shown to us in the following scene. Due to low sales, the store's business is about to fail. Stuart, Alan's father, entrusts Alan with the store in the hope that he will demonstrate his worth when he is called away on a business trip. Alan is taking care of the store one day when a Heartland truck comes by, and Joe, the delivery driver, lets him sign for several shipments. Alan decides to take a look at some Commando Elite and Gorgonite toy boxes intended for a larger store while he is doing this. When the toys are taken out of their boxes, to his surprise, they begin to fight and become animated. Alan convinces Joe to leave him a complete set of each group because he thinks the toys are made very well and wants to boost the store's profits. Alan's pleas eventually persuade Joe to relent, despite his initial refusal. Christy Fimple, Alan's neighbor and romantic interest, comes in with her younger brother while the new toy sets are being loaded inside, Timmy, so he can select a present for his birthday. The boy finds the rival toys in the back room while looking around. Timmy begs his sister to buy him one because he is so impressed. Christy reserves Chip Hazard for her brother despite the fact that she finds it to be somewhat pricey. Alan is heartbroken when he sees her boyfriend arrive just in time to pick her up. As a result, he leaves the shop quickly and heads home. Alan later discovers the Gorgonites leader while working on a school assignment, Archer's backpack inside. It turns out that the toy had previously slipped into one of the pockets. Archer responds to Alan activating it by repeating his name. The teen finds it shocking, but he comes to the conclusion that he is simply seeing things as a result of an exhausting workday. As a result, he resumes his studies and eventually falls asleep. Archer comes to life in the interim, goes to Alan's computer, and looks up information about a place called Gorgon. Alan wakes up and learns that Archer is actually a real-world toy with a mind of its own. Archer tells them that their sole objective is to free the Gorgonites after a formal introduction. Chip Hazard, Kip Killoggin, Brick Bazooka, Butch Meathook, Nick Nitro, and Link Static are all members of the Commando Elite when he breaks free from his packaging at the toy store. They then set out on their mission to get rid of all Gorgonites. Alan discovers the store in disarray the following morning, with all of the new toy sets missing. The broken remains of one of the Gorgonites are all they find. Christy arrives shortly thereafter and assumes that the store has been robbed, so she helps Alan clean up. Whenever they are finished, Alan stuffs the toy into his rucksack and rides his bicycle home. He doesn't know, though, that the Commando Elite are after him. They plan to kill Archer by throwing Brick on the bike, but the plan goes horribly wrong, and he falls to the ground. After that, the Commando Elite fixes Brick and goes to Alan's house. In the meantime, Alan calls the business to voice his displeasure with the Commando's behavior, but he receives nothing but apathy. Archer tries to talk to Alan, but Alan tells him to shut up and stop talking. The boy is furious. Irwin summons Larry to discuss the issue when he discovers Alan's voicemail complaint later at Global Tech. He asserts that they will be forced to recall the entire line if they market dangerous toys. Larry eventually gives in, and he also says that he had put munition chips inside the toys because he thought they would fit well. Irwin is both enraged and perplexed upon hearing this. Alan is asleep in his room somewhere else while Archer looks around the house. Chip Hazard and the Commando Elite quickly capture him and question him in the kitchen sink. Alan wakes up to find Archer being attacked by soldiers, so he rushes to save him and chases the Commando Elite away. He also forces Nick Nitro into the sink and kills him from the waist down in the process. His parents hear the noise, and they rush to investigate the commotion right away. However, Nick Nitro has already escaped by dragging his body up the sink before they arrive. In the meantime, Alan is compelled to admit his illegal acquisition of the toys after being caught. When Alan says that the toys were to blame for the tools that weren't there, the conversation between the parents turns heated, and his parents start to think he might be using drugs. Alan storms into his room shortly thereafter and yells at Archer about his lack of support. He requests to know why Bowman didn't talk and demonstrate to his folks that the toys are alive. The Gorgonite leader responds by repeating Alan's earlier order to quiet down. After resolving their differences, the two begin devising a plan to locate the other Gorgonites before the Commando Elite do. Chip Hazard, on the other hand, addresses the Commando Elite in a moving but rambling speech while they gather in Christie's garage next door. Nick quickly makes his way into the garage and dies in Chip's arms. As a result, the outraged group decides to exact revenge on Alan. They begin their strategy by transforming all of the sharp tools, electronics, and other hardware into miniature weapons of mass destruction and vehicles. Alan goes back to the store the following day and wonders where the Gorgonites are hiding. He thinks for a while and comes to the conclusion that they must be in the trash because that is the only place where the enemies won't notice them. As a result, he hurries to the dumpster behind the store and meets the other members of Archer's team. After that, they look for their imagined homeland of Gorgon using Alan's computer. Irwin and Larry visit the microprocessor's inventor once more at Global Tech. The latter asserts that the chips are nearly flawless and that they can learn to become intelligent. The main defect gives off an impression of being a stream that can be obliterated by an electromagnetic heartbeat. The Commando Elite, on the other hand, hacks into the phone lines and listens in on Alan and Christie's harmless flirtation. After that, they finish making their weapons and head out on their mission. Christie's parents are getting ready to spend the night at her house in front of their brand new, high-tech television. The Commando Elite sneak into the room and quickly induce sleep by injecting a few sleeping pills into the drinks of the couple. After that, the soldiers go to Christie's room, where they find Timmy, quickly tie him up, and then throw him in the closet. Following this, they devise a devious plan after discovering Christie's doll collection. Each of the dolls is transformed into an army of violent zombies after Nick Nitro's chip is inserted into their brains. Christie's boyfriend comes home shortly after. Christie is shocked to see the group of zombie dolls as she moves toward her bedroom. She screams for help as they bind her and drag her down by her feet. Her BF rushes to her aid after hearing her scream and defeats a few dolls. However, the commandos suddenly appear and launch a flamethrower at him, forcing him to retreat. Christie is then forced to make a video as a hostage that the Commando Elite demands the Gorgonites surrender to. At the point when the video arrives at Alan, he burns through no time and starts arranging a counterattack. He leaves a large box with the name Gorgonites on it in front of Christie's house in the next scene. Alan dashes to the backyard and launches a rocket, disorienting the commandos and sending Archer parachuting into the house. The back door is then unlocked, and Archer lets his friend in. After that, they go to Christie's room, fight the zombie dolls, and finally free her. Christie is greatly impressed by this heroic deed, and to express her gratitude, she kisses Alan. The commandos go through a lengthy procedure outside and set off an explosion in the box, only to discover that it is just a decoy. As a result, they leave the garage and drive after Archer, Alan, and Christie, who are running away on a scooter. Chip Hazard, who is resilient and manages to survive despite having a portion of his face melted, is the only commando who survives the chase and crashes into a pond. He takes over a delivery of brand new Commando Elite figures from a nearby toy store and makes the driver drive him to Alan's house. In contrast, Alan and the group arrive at his house, where his parents are debating the most recent events. Larry and Irwin also arrive shortly after and confirm that the toys have indeed come to life. Stuart hits Larry across the face after hearing this, claiming that the toys nearly killed Larry. When Alan peeks out the window as the lights go out suddenly, he sees a large army of evil toys approaching. Chip Hazard calls in dozens of commandos and uses firework rockets, flaming tennis balls, and nails to declare war on the Gorgonites and their human allies. The people are in a condition of frenzy until Irwin and Larry recollect that an electromagnetic heartbeat could cripple the microprocessor and the commandos. Alan, desperate for a source, suggests using a metal tool to fuse the two transformers outside, causing an overload and an erupting magnetic field. In addition to confirming that the strategy will be successful, Larry and Irwin reveal that the Gorgonites will not survive the blast. Alan hesitates for a while when he hears this, but when Archer says that it's for the greater good, he sets out to finish the job. Chip Hazard chases him in a toy helicopter and begins firing at him as he climbs the electric pole. Fortunately, the Gorgonites take command of one of the vehicles and shoot down the helicopter with its weapon. Chip Hazard manages to jump out and land on the electric pole before it collides with a satellite. He tries to knock Alan down, but Archer shows up right then, and the two of them fight violently. Sadly, Archer can't keep up with the commando leader, and he loses and is pushed down the pole. Alan grabs Hazard and wedges him between the Transformers as retaliation. The Commando Elite and their doll allies are ultimately destroyed when this triggers the EMP and sets off a massive explosion. The following morning, Global Tech's CEO, when Gil Mars gets there, he bribes everyone who is witnessing the crisis into silence. Larry is concerned about losing his job, but Mars suggests raising the cost of the Commando Elite and selling it to the military of a South American nation. Alan, on the other hand, is devastated to have lost his Gorgonite friends for good. As he tidies up the wreck with weepy eyes, unexpectedly, he finds Toxopholite's bow. He quickly raises the shattered satellite dish and is thrilled to discover that all of the Gorgonites are still alive. It turns out that they hid out inside the dish, which helped them survive the EMP impact. The Gorgonites say their final goodbyes to Alan and board Stewart's model ship to search for their homeland, Gorgon. Thanks for watching my videos. Please hit that like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.